Huge day for the unemployed. I'm talking massive news for all the grease merchants out there. So with the upcoming Creator Clash 3 charity boxing match just a few weeks away, lots of people all across social media have been talking about it, including Brandon Buckingham, a fellow YouTuber who gave some of his thoughts regarding the recent implosion of the event, where in the process he might have sparked somewhat of a beef with another content creator named Myth. And personally, man, I'm here for it. I mean, after all, who doesn't love a little shit talk, right? So essentially, thanks to this guy, my Twitter feed's turned into a Modern Warfare 2 lobby IRL, and I figured we could talk about it today, as well as some other drama surrounding the event. So yeah, let's roll this shit. I'm sure it'll be oh so educational, as always. So it all started with the announcement posted over on the official Creator Clash Twitter page regarding Ian and Anissa's essentially passing of the torch, if you will, regarding the whole facilitation of the event and whatnot. In case you didn't hear that news, here's the post in question. It says, Anissa and her husband have made the difficult decision to fully step away from Creator Clash, both publicly and behind the scenes, and are relinquishing ownership of the event. The decision wasn't made lightly, but it's a necessary step toward returning Creator Clash to its core purpose, bringing communities together for a night of boxing fueled by passion, discipline, and the goal of raising money for causes that matter. Since the beginning, this event has been about more than just the fights. It's been about creators pushing themselves beyond their limits, fans rallying behind something positive, and using that energy to do some good in the world. And then they go on to mention, as part of the fallout, both Harley Morenstein and Lena Ayed have stepped away from their scheduled fights. While we're disappointed to lose two creators who brought so much heart to this event, we understand and respect their decisions. The fighters still on this card have been training for months in silence and sweat and in the shadow of everything else going on. They deserve the spotlight, not the fallout. This event was never about any one person, and it shouldn't be defined by internet drama or personal conflict, blah, blah, blah. And I will just say that just kind of surrounding everything, the whole content cop and content deputy thing, which I have videos on. If you're interested in that, go watch those videos. But I just truly appreciate the irony of them coming out with this statement, as Ian and Anissa have quite literally made it all about themselves, trying to put on this charity event and then getting wrapped up in a senseless drama. Like, I think that's so funny, man. Like, they come out and are all like, oh, we don't want the spotlight to be all on one person. We don't want any internet beef or drama to take away the spotlight of these hardworking fighters and the charity organizations that are being helped and all that. But then the event's original founders are doing just that, getting wrapped up in this senseless beef with Ethan Klein. And the whole thing is so tone deaf. It's void of any self-awareness, honestly. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Brandon Buckingham and Myth drama, which when you pile that on top of everything else I just mentioned, it's just so funny, man. But let's go ahead and actually get into that. Like I said, so Brandon Buckingham he wasn't scared to share his opinions surrounding this, and he said, since iDubbbz and Anissa aren't gatekeeping Creator Clash anymore, can Sam Hyde, Froggy Fresh, and I all fight on the card? And then there was a little bit of a discourse on this post, and Brandon ended up saying, not a single person on earth wants to see Myth or Will Neff fight, which personally, excuse the voice crack, but personally that was a little funny. I'm not gonna lie, because it's just like, bro, Myth and this Will Neff guy just caught fucking shots out of nowhere. That was a little bit out of left field, I will say. But Myth in particular was not happy about this, so he responded, this rat fuck can't stop saying my name, yet nobody knows me. I'll knock your ass out after I'm finished with my fight. I don't give a fuck. To which Brandon says, I will KO you back into relevancy. Just sign the contract, dumbass. And then he says, Myth, Mams Taylor, which I guess is like someone over there at Creator Clash. I'm not 100% sure, but can set this up, right? Let's make it happen. Talking about a fight between these two, which I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, look, I understand where Brandon Buckingham is coming from. Like, he's obviously a pretty big creator. He does a lot of those like street interviews and just the interview style content in general. He's got a pretty big following. I mean, over 1.05 million followers over on YouTube at the time of recording this. I don't watch his content, but I know the name, right? He's obviously a big name. And then juxtapose that with the list of fighters for Creator Clash 3. I'm telling you what, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but you put a gun to my fucking head and tell me to name 3 people on that card. You know, tell my fucking family I love them. Don't touch my autographed Kyler Murray jersey, because it's gonna be worth a lot one day. It's on one of their old jerseys. You know, before the Cardinals got those dog shit, ugly ass red jerseys they have. That's neither here nor there. My point is, I don't know anyone on this card. It's just a bunch of fucking randoms, and this is something that Creator Clash needs. Because again, you know, I've said it, you know, in my past couple of videos, I don't want Creator Clash to fail. I think it's a really good thing on paper, right? I mean, like, have a bunch of dudes just beat the fuck out of each other. Who doesn't love, you know, fights, shit talk? You know, like, think of the UFC, for example. It thrives on shit talk, right? It thrives on, you know, beating the fucking dog piss out of people. People love it. We're all barbaric at our core, right? We want to see this, but at the same time, we need, like, actual people that people give a shit about, right? And we need more shit talk like this. I think something like this would do wonders for the Creator Clash 3, personally, if you want my honest opinion. But getting back to the drama, Myth responds to the relevancy comment with, "Person that was in Paris, I've done more in my first 2 years of my career than you'll do your entire life. I don't need relevancy like you do, lil pup. And I said I'll fight you right after my fight on CC. Now go talk to whoever you need to talk to get on the card." And then Brandon claps back with, "Myth talking about relevancy in 2025 is hilarious. Nobody cares about your Fortnite career that died 7 years ago. The contract will be in your inbox in a week or two. Sign it, pussy boy." And then they continue to beef, to which Brandon Buckingham delivers what I believe to be a pretty fatal blow here. So he says, "Your last 3 videos combined have 55K views. My last 3 have 5.6 million. Since the start of 2024, you have lost 50K subscribers. I have gained over 500,000. Your fall off is historic. Your career is a joke. Don't talk about relevancy when you are down so tremendously." Alright, man, so we got to talk about this. So first and foremost, Myth coming out the gate saying the N-word, looking like this. It's just a little bit insane, dare I say psychotic. Dude's coming out here looking like the fucking patient zero of bullying. What the fuck? I'm not gonna lie, it made me chuckle a little bit. I was like, ooh, I don't know if you know exactly what you're getting into, little bro, but hey, pop off, King, you know, do your thing. You know, this is a two-way conversation. You know, you are talking shit back, like, pop your shit, right? But I think he kind of lost this when he said, "I don't need relevancy like you do, lil pup," because you see, the thing is, they have careers that are based on the internet, right? And if there's one thing that helps a career maintain longevity and, you know, bring in all this continuous cash flow and all that, if there's anything that's going to help that, it's relevancy, right? If you fall off the face of the earth and you're not relevant anymore and no one's watching your videos or consuming your content, you're kind of fucked, right? Like, the longevity of your career, it's just not existent, right? And you're going to stop bringing in money. And then at some point, like, what do you fall back on, right? So I don't really know if, you know, that's quite the flex that he thinks it is. I do kind of respect him, you know, being a little bit cocky here. I really do. I mean, after all, Brandon Buckingham did attack Myth first, so I do respect him, you know, taking his shots and, you know, defending himself. But at the end of the day, look, man, he should have just sat this one out, in my opinion, because when you consider the fact that both of them have fostered pretty successful careers online, I think it's kind of hard to talk relevancy and, you know, pop your shit, if you will, when you've fallen off the face of the earth as hard as this guy has. Like, if we weren't talking online careers that kind of depend on relevancy, then I'd say, okay, maybe you were cooking, but, you know, online careers, they depend on relevancy. So I don't know if Myth, again, is providing us with the flex he thinks it is. But I do want to talk about that last comment that Brandon Buckingham made. You know, the fact that he's pulled in 5.6 million views in his past 3 videos, whereas Myth only has 55,000. In all fairness, I want to say they operate on totally different niches, right? Like, if you think about it, like, Myth is a video game streamer. Like, this Brandon Buckingham guy, he goes out into the real world and does, like, real shit, right? So, totally different niches. I don't know if that's a real fair comparison. But on the other hand, the fall off that Myth has experienced is very historic. I mean, the video thumbnail here that he's provided that kind of chronicalizes his fall off is actually pretty insane. You know, I watched that video because I was curious. And in the video, it talks about how he's gained, you know, millions upon millions of YouTube subscribers and hundreds of thousands of Twitch viewers, to the point where he was like the second biggest Twitch streamer on the platform. So to have the world literally in the palm of your hand and then to fall off so crazy multiple times, actually, because he had sort of like, I guess like the best way I can really describe it is like 2 or 3 career revivals. And then he still continued to gain all these followers and have all these viewers and just be, again, on top of the world, and then he loses it all. It's like he lost his career multiple times, if you think about it. Like, that's gotta be tough, dude. Like, that's gotta be embarrassing. And most of it, I won't entirely blame him, but a big part of the blame can rest upon his shoulders, right? I mean, just the way he conducted himself, personal decisions that ended up not being the right move. Like, a lot of it is his fault why he fell off. Like, for example, you know, taking on a bunch of sponsored streams when Fortnite was still in its popularity. Like, that's actually one of the things the video talks about. And I think it's a really good point to consider that, you know, a lot of this is due to business decisions that he made that were not really smart, you know, if I'm keeping it a buck. But I will also say, in Myth's defense, he talks about how he doesn't really need relevancy. It sounds bad, but I think what he's really trying to say is, like, he made so much money in the first 2 years of his career that he could sit on his ass and do pretty much nothing and still be all right. Which, if you put it like that, that sounds pretty fucking sweet, you know, never have to work a day in your life and just have all this fucking money. Like, that would be pretty cool. Like, I don't know, you know, Brandon's initial tweet, it has the thumbnail from that video, but if you actually watch the video, you also learn that Myth did make a lot of really good business decisions too, like switching to YouTube. He secured a bag from that. Like, it doesn't specify how much, but you can only imagine, right? Like, say what you want about Myth, you know, you can say he's not relevant, you could say whatever, right? But you can't say he don't got money, that's for sure. So just kind of in closing before I wrap up the video, like, yeah, you know, Myth is not really all that relevant anymore, but he does have a shit ton of money. And then on the other hand, you know, Brandon Buckingham, he's doing really good for himself. He's making a lot of money currently, has a lot of relevancy, I would say, in the YouTube space. So just think of the storyline implications here, you know, like this is a chance for Myth to maybe become relevant again. You know, Brandon's been talking some shit, you know, talk about he's just the most relevant dude in the world. Myth is fucking nothing, right? This dude's bullying him and shit. Like this could be a fucking wild card, man. They need to hop on this shit. Like I said, Creator Clash could really benefit from something like this, but that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, rating, subscribe to the channel for more commentaries just like this. And yeah, I'm done yapping for now. Catch you on the next one. Bye.